Hey everyone, Minas here and welcome in the third tutorial building a CLI password generator application with Rust. If you are following me through the first and second tutorials, you will notice that we use the CLI standard library to handle the arguments coming from the terminal. In this tutorial, I'm aiming to use a different crate to add more value to the final application, which allows the end user to send arguments and send options and having something like default values for the arguments that the user is passing and so on. Also, in the second part of this tutorial, we will learn together how to build a strong password generator that will help us like generate passwords. Those are the two main problems that we are gonna solve within following this tutorial. And as you might now know, I'm like a fan of building the thing first, like making my code works, satisfies the problems, and then refactor this code to be more structured and more clean and more maintainable and so on. So that will be it in this tutorial. I hope it adds value to you. So without further talking, let's start. I'll go to my Rust development and then I'll go to the demos directory and password generator. I created an empty GitHub repo and then I linked it. I cloned it on my local so you can follow the commits, history, and everything while going. And also I will link the repo in the description. So I'll start this time from scratch. I have an empty repo with nothing, so nothing in it. So I just start with cargo in it. This will initialize a new cargo, and then I'll open my code editor, VS Code. I'll just make sure that everything works. Okay, cargo run. Okay, I have everything works. And as we used to do, I'll just add my to-do list. For this first episode of the third tutorial, we will build a logic to generate a password, and the second part is like testing that everything works. I think that's it for this first episode. In the second episode, we refactor this to have like the CLI application, CLI library, and then further in the future we will like do more refactors. So to have a password, we need to like know its length. So to know the length, we will just define like the length of type usize to be maybe 12. For this first episode, we will just have a static length of 12 characters, but in the future, we will refactor this to accept this as an argument from the application user via the CLI. So I have my length, and then I need like a chars pool, and chars pool will be of type like it will be a vector of a char, and to allow this or to make this happen, I need to add all the characters that I want as a string letters. I can just get help from my copilot just to not write useless stuff. I just do that, and then as you can see, it completed all the chars I need. So I just need, for a strong password, I need all the lowercase, all the uppercase, and then the numbers and also special characters. You can feel free to modify this as you see fit. So to convert this string literal into a vector of chars, I just use the chars method. This will convert the string literal into a chars iterator, and then I will call the collect to consume this iterator and convert it into a vector of type chars. So I have the length, I have the pool that I will pick from. Now I need to randomly select a character. To randomly select or to allow this, I'll go to my cargo and then I will install like the rand crate. I don't care about the crate version. I'll just use asterisk so I can have everything, and then I can cargo build. This should like download the crate and build it for me, so it's ready to be used. Let me close it, okay? Let me now go on. So I have the length, I have the chars pool, and then I can start with building the password. So the password will be of type string, and this string will be like to build this password we need an iterator of numbers. So I'll just give it from 0 up until the length that we define. When you put like a range object within parentheses, you like this is an iterator. So here I'm telling the compiler like build me an iterator starting from number 0 and up until length not included, length -1. So here it will be from 0 to 11. If you want to include the length, you'll just modify this range object and add the equal sign. So this will generate from an iterator of numbers from 0 up till 12, and this is like 13 characters, but we need 12, so I just exclude the length. So quick recap, this will give me an iterator of numbers from 0 up until 11. And then I have this iterator. I need to iterate on each element and modify it. The way we'll do it, I'll iterate on each element and remove the number and pick a random character and put it on its place. So I'll do this using the map, and because the map will iterate on the iterator, but it's lazy, it's a lazy initialize or lazy function. So I just use the collect because iterators by default in Rust are lazy, so I need a modular function to activate them and make them like consume the whole iterator. So I use collect for that. And then within the map, I will add or inject a closure. This is for the variable placeholder, and then for each number in the numbers iterator, do the following. Go to the chars pool and then choose, and here choose is a function from the rand crate. And I used ChatGPT to make sure how choose is actually working behind the scene and making sure that it's not returning an index that is out of bound of the chars pool. So I made sure that it's like accepting an instance of self, and it's picking a random element or taking a random number that won't exceed the maximum length of the chars pool. So in our case, like it's taking the chars pool length, and this is will be the maximum length that the random number can go up to. So here and here it will accept like a mutable reference of rand thread range that, as I mentioned, will generate a number that within the threshold or the boundaries of the length of the chars pool that we have. So I choose a number and choose here returning a reference to a number. And because I don't need a reference to a number, I just dereference it using the asterisk. So I'm having the number itself. And here I need unwrap because like choose returning an option. So this is simply like taking each number from this iterator, replacing it with a random character from the chars pool, and not returning a reference but returning the element itself. So I replaced all the numbers with a randomly selected number from the chars pool. And now let's make sure that it is working. And as you can see, like, yeah, it's generating a password. Let me run it one more time, one more time, one more time. So we are good. So I think this completes the two tasks we set for today. Um, And that's it for the first episode. Let me quickly recap it. So we have a static length that we refactor in the next episode and have it as an argument coming from the user of the application. Second, I have a chars pool or a characters pool, and this characters pool is a string literal with all the characters I want. You can simplify this if you don't need it to be very strong. You can remove some, you can just keep it small, like lowercase. You can keep it just uppercase. You can keep it just numbers. It's up to you. This is the pool that we will select from. And then I converted this string literal into an iterator and using the collect to consume the iterator. And as I mentioned before, the iterators are lazy by default, so we need to consume them to use them, even with collect or maybe with next or with other functions. And then we have the password. We created an iterator, and like an iterator is two parentheses and then having a range object, and this is ranges from 0 and to the length not included. And then for each number, we change this number with randomly selected element from the chars pool, and then we print the final result. This recaps everything for this first episode. In the upcoming episode, we will just add more logic, which is accepting arguments using the new struct opt library. And then we refactored the lens here to make it dynamic, adding more validations and moving on with the whole logic working fine. And furthermore, in the future, we will do more episodes to refactor the code structure and having it well structured. That's it. Thanks for watching so far. I hope it adds value to you. I'm always open to feedback and comments, and I want to thank you for all the support and for subscribing and following and watching my videos. If you are subscribed, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for your time. I hope you I hope you enjoy my videos and have a good one. Bye bye.